Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the two-man show of the Tuesday Night Flight. It's Goose and Maverick. We getting it going for you. We're going to take you through the friendly skies of the sports skies.
I'm Maverick. You're Goose.
All right, that works.
I ain't dying.
So today we're going to go through.
I like that.
Through the nickel. We're going to go through some goings on in the world. It's the Tuesday Night Flight. I'm the Midnight Rider. He's the list. Jack Carr. Let's get it going. Jack, how was your day, man?
It was all right. I'm looking forward to the show. Yeah, Mondays just go blah. Makes Mondays even worse, not having a show on Monday. So yes, sir, I'm ready. Tuesday Night Flight. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Since you and I are big baseball marks, let's start over here in this world. We had some interesting news come down the pipeline. We had Cody Bellinger traded to the Yankees. The Yankees have been quite busy this all season. I'm taking it that loss did not sit well with them.
No doubt, man. They're looking at every big-time pitcher, big-time bat. I mean, I think they're trying to replace Juan Soto with 3 bats. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they spending money doing it, big guy. They spending money doing it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you think the Yankees didn't have a stellar farm system, but they've moved a bunch of players from their farm system to acquire more talent. The biggest deal was putting Cortez in that deal to get what's the closer, Devin Williams. So they've been making moves the whole time and just moving people around. So it's gonna be interesting once they're done with this. And I think they are doing it smart by trying to make up for Soto in the aggregate.
They got plenty of time. They got till February 7th is when all of this here comes to an end. So they got plenty of time to set up other acquisitions. Yeah, I expect to see the Yankees coming in strong. But does that mean they're going to win a ship? No, not necessarily. I mean, you can have all the talent in the world, all the power in the world. If your squad can't stay healthy, if your squad can't gel, it don't matter who you bring in. So we'll see what happens with these Yankees, the Bronx Bombers, as they're called.
Well, I mean, Jack Wagner said it the best. And the way the Yankees lost, I mean, just the sheer fact, the way they lost that series is going to haunt them. And it looks like we got a comment from the sideline junkies themselves. I'm guessing this is KG. He jumps in with, all right, why wasn't this working? There we go. Would this count as the future is now? I think that's definitely what this is. I think the Yankees are always in future now mode. The Yankees don't rebuild; they just restock, reload. But everything is meant to go towards the title. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier for the Yankees to just reload instead of rebuild, because who wouldn't want to play for the Yankees, dude? I mean, there's not many people wouldn't want to go to a storied franchise like that. So the Yankees are an easy draw, I think, for free agents.
Did your boy Jack?
That's right, J-Dub. He's right, man. The Yanks think they can buy championships, and they haven't had much luck with that lately. It's been a while.
But why not think that when you haven't – what's the word I'm looking for? The way baseball is set up, and we just saw Soto signed for $600 million or $660 or whatever it was. When you start seeing that, you only see that there's only 4 or 5 teams that can compete for young talent, and it's the Yankees, maybe the Cubs. You get
Dodgers.
Go ahead, the Giants.
Maybe the Sox.
Exactly. So any young up and comer that's that's a Boris client, they're going to end up in New York or both New Yorks now because now the Mets are serious bidders. So, yeah, it's a whole change of the landscape, but the landscape only includes 6 teams.
Well,
So you
speaking of the Mets,
say that again.
Yeah. Speaking of the Mets, they got some free agents over there. I'm not sure if the Mets are going to secure them or they're going to lose them because the Yankees are looking at Pete Alonso too.
Right.
I like Alonso. He's not going to get the huge money because Alonso, he's a home run hitter, but you don't see much else out of him, singles, doubles, shit like that. Alonso is a Dave Kingman type player. If anybody remembers Dave Kingman from the 70s, it's like a homer or nothing. But that's basically Alonso's back because he's probably 270 batting average, if.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how a lot of the big sluggers do. So I don't know if Alonso would fit in the Yankees. I don't know that because he plays one position.
I think Bellinger ends up playing first for him.
That's what I'm saying. So Bellinger can play center field. He can play any outfield. And don't Bellinger play short?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember him playing short.
Okay.
But the kicker is you have the kid Dominguez coming up. So you could go Dominguez, Judge, Stanton, Dominguez, Judge, Bellinger. You can mix and match that any way you want. So the Yankees fan of the Sideline Junkies just said they haven't reloaded since the captain left. In my opinion, they've reloaded a couple times since then.
Yeah.
They've made their runs. That's why you ended up with Garrett Cole and people like that because you've made your runs. They just haven't been successful runs.
True.
Any thoughts?
That's true. They've added since the captain. Shit, that was what 20 years ago.
Yeah.
How long has it been since Jeter's been out? No, Jeter ain't been out 20 years. He's been out a while. It does, but they've been bringing in pieces every season, man. And I'm not talking just one. They're bringing 2 or 3, and then they'll lose some free agency the following year, and then they do the same thing. They go out after them big hitters and big pitchers with Garrett Cole. I like Garrett Cole. He's solid, but I don't know. I just don't understand it. And so if they spend excess over a limit, they got to pay a tax. Is that what the MLB does?
Yeah.
Or is that? I get confused with all these different league caps.
Yeah, so basically they have it's almost like a luxury tax where you pay, if you're 2 years over, you're paying like 50 cents on the dollar, something crazy like that. I'd have to look it up because I don't want to say I think and then we get it wrong. But they have a tax that basically, as long as you're over the cap, you have to pay a certain portion in a luxury tax or a luxury fee. It looks like it's with us. He said they have to. That's New York. The expectations are high. I mean, we hear people talking about it. I mean, our own KG, talks about it doesn't count if it's not a World Series, So, I mean, I think that's true for them, but so far the way they've done it hasn't worked. And here we go. They have to spend the money. Of course they do. It's the Yankees. It's the way they've been built. They've been built this way since the beginning of time for me. I don't know what they were like in the early days. They did have that stretch with Jeter and company where they had to they called up Jeter. You had your Mariano Rivera. You had Bernie Williams. You had some guys that were there and in place for them. So it's just one of those things. I mean, I think the Yanks are always in the mix, in the battle, fighting. And here we go again. Jeter's been gone since 2014 and no titles since 2009.
10 years.
That's crazy. But they always around. They always win their 100 ball games. And the last one is ain't no reload. They just existing. Dude, I think you're in your own world, baby, on this one. I think the Yanks take their shot every year. The Yanks fully believe that if you ain't taking your shot, you ain't shooting. So And then Jack said Jeter retired in 2014. Damn, time flies. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know it's been a minute.
I didn't
But
even think it was
I
that
think
long.
all the I think the free agency is really going to fire up after the holidays. You know, come first week of January, I think we're really going to see some guys either staying with their existing team or relocating. It's getting ready to start jumping. The free agency market's getting ready to start jumping here in January.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump off into the nickel. I don't know if this is the first game we had, but let's start with this. The Packers 30, Seahawks 13. This is a good ball. This is an interesting ball game. Geno Smith gets hurt. You get Sam Howell in the ball game. You kind of see what the Commanders fans saw about how holding on to the football, throwing interceptions. Your initial thoughts, Jack?
Well, when Howell came in, Green Bay defense just taped their ears back and just started coming at him. I mean, they threw the house at Howell, man. Great game for Green Bay. I mean, Jordan Love, 229 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Jacobs did his thing, 94 yards rushing. He got a touchdown. And what about Doubs, man? He caught a couple long balls for touchdowns. So that Green Bay defense was on point. They had 7 sacks, man. They were just crushing people. Logan Hall had 2 sacks. Devontae David had no. I'm sorry, that's the Pittsburgh game. Excuse me. But the defense of Green Bay had 7 sacks. They were just pressuring Seattle's quarterback, whoever was back there. I mean, I feel bad for Geno. I haven't heard an update on his injury. Is it season ending, Midnight Rider?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I totally agree with you.
Seattle had nothing for Green Bay. And Smith and Jibba, then they had 10 receptions, 83 yards. But other than that, Green Bay owned this game. And a recap on our picks. JC is the one that picked this one correct. JC took Green Bay in the under.
What did I have? Green Bay in the over?
Right. Yes, you had the over, and KG has Seattle.
Okay.
We did good. You got 3 out of 5. I got 4 out of 5. KG got 1 out of 5.
Well, but he's been kicking it in the in our pigskin picks, in our pigskin pick'em league. He and I are tied for number 1.
Is that who that is up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all got ahead of me. I had a good week. I only got 2 wrong this week, so I think I made up 1 game on y'all.
So he struggled. What was it? He had like probably week 10 or 11. He dropped back a little bit, and then he's been hot the last 2 weeks. I think the last 2 weeks combined, he's lost 3 ball games.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, he been gaining ground like it's nobody's business because he's just been on fire.
He had that 15-1 week.
Yep,
which was great.
Back to this Packers and Seahawks game. You got anything before we wrap this one up? Let me see if we got any comments. Do have a comment. Mr. Boom. He says the Seahawks need a quarterback. I like Geno, but he's not the answer. He does just enough, but not enough. I think you're absolutely right. I think the issue for Geno, or the issue Seattle has, is Geno makes you good enough. Good enough to think you got a chance. Good enough to keep you in the hunt. Just not good enough to get you over the hump at times. And Geno has this great cockiness about him. No matter what he's done for 3 quarters, when it's game time, he tends to show up. He tends to play well in game time. So it's interesting to see that makeup, but that's exactly how it goes, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and here we go, Jack agreeing with us. Facts. I just think that's the way it's set up. I mean, I think Seattle's going to be a 8 to 10 win team every year he's there because they have the running game and they have their receivers. I think this is the year that Tyler Lockett might end up having to go because I think Njigba is going to have to be your second wide receiver, and then and you still got Metcalf. So I think they move on from Lockett and bring in somebody young to take that slot position, and that's how they build for the future.
It's possible. It's possible. Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Well,
I mean, the Hawks still in the mix, though. You know,
mhm.
8-6 tied with the Rams right now. So, you know, the division is still available. I mean, there's no division. It's got a difference of 2 games with 3 to go. So it's going to be interesting in the NFC West. You know, it seems to be always like that.
And this is where the schedule kicks in.
Huh?
I said this is where the schedule kicks in, where these teams start playing each other down the stretch. And that's how we're going to figure this out. And I think that's one of the smartest moves the NFL made by changing that schedule to the point where all the division games end up towards the end. You get like a preview early in the year, but you get the last 2 or 3 weeks, you get some matchups, and that's how everything fleshes out.
That's the way it should be. I like it like that as well. I mean, you want to see the gritty, gutsy fighting for the title and division games. You know what I'm saying? That just looks good, especially if you can get one that decides big stuff on the last game, man. That's always awesome. So there's going to be spoilers, and there's going to be people that make it over the threshold. So we'll find out in 3 weeks.
Yep, we said it about a couple weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving. This is the witching hour. This is when we're going to start figuring out who's who belongs, and who's going to get kicked out. And we are,
True.
I mean, we're starting to see it already. You know, Tampa Bay's making this move. Atlanta's got a nice schedule. They get the Giants next week. So we're going to find out some things real quick.
Yep.
Next up, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 40. The Los Angeles. I had to stop myself because I almost said San Diego. The Los Angeles Chargers 17. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. Tampa Bay's been hot, but I thought the Chargers would give them a better ball game. But then I started looking at some of the stats. I think I saw a Taylor Heineke appearance.
Yes.
And then also Herbert.
Yeah, they pulled him. He was getting hammered all game. That was a wise move to pull him.
You got
down
stats?
23. I don't have stats on Heineke. I got a few from the game that I stood out to me. The Chargers, Tampa Bay disrupted their whole offense. I didn't see an offense more out of sync all weekend than the Chargers were. They were just shook. Baker Mayfield, 22-27, 288, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. My boy Bucky Irvin, 15 carries, 117 yards. That was sweet. Mike Evans grabbed 9 for 159 and 2 touchdowns. Tampa Bay defense, like I said, they were just hounding the hell out of the quarterback. Logan Hall had 2 sacks, and Levante David had 2 sacks. So Tampa Bay, man, watch out for them. They could cause some trouble if they get in the playoffs, I think. And Baker Mayfield is he's just on top of his game right now. He knows these guys. He knows these. Mike Evans is his favorite guy. You can see that. But they kind of communicate like Mahomes and Kelsey, you know? Okay. Mike Evans knows when Baker's rolling away from a rush, he knows to, cut up here. They know how to communicate after just passes and passes and passes. So watch out for Tampa Bay come playoffs. I think Tampa Bay is going to make playoffs, possibly win this division.
Well, this gets interesting off the bat because Tampa Bay wasn't supposed to be here. You figured once the 2 receivers went down for a stretch, you thought that they would fall by the wayside, but they got lucky. Bucky Irvin stepped in. He's becoming or starting to become their lead back. You start to still get a good contribution from White. I think the passing game, the rookie from Washington, I think it's Jared McLaughlin or something like that. He had like 5 catches, 58 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, they're getting stuff from everybody, and I think that's what's helping them in this situation. is because they're getting contributions from all people. I think that helps. And then just to tag along with it, because it looks like Antonio's on our thought process. This is the mature Baker, and I like it. This version is good. I think, and I'm probably in the minimum or the standing outside on this one. I think Baker was good at Cleveland. I think the problem he had at Cleveland was Jarvis Landry
and attitudes.
Yeah, I think Jarvis Landry, Beckham, they dropped passes on him. And I think that started the whole thing. And then he got banged up.
Well, Baker's definitely at home here in Tampa Bay. He is definitely at home here.
Well, you gave him
and for this game, myself and the Midnight Rider picked this correctly. Tampa Bay in the over.
Okay.
So
anything else
y'all might want to listen to us on Sundays, listen to us before you get on your bookie.
You got anything else you want to touch on this ball game?
No. I think we covered it all. You hit the nail on the head with Bucky Irving, man. The young man's gonna be a star, man. He opens up the passing game because the linebackers are worried about him. So, yeah, that's all I got to say on this. It was a great game by Tampa Bay, and they are sole possession of first place now. So, we'll see where the Bucks go.
Well, let's stay right there, and let's if you have the standings up, can you give us the standings?
Mm-hmm. Standings in NFC South, or you want them all?
Let's do the South and the West.
NFC South, the Bucks are leading it with an 8-6 record right now. Falcons got a big win yesterday. Kirk Cousins got straightened up over there. Falcons are 7-7. Saints are 5-9. Panthers, we don't even need to say, dude. They're at the bottom. Don't worry about them. NFC North. Lions took a hit to drop to 12-2. Vikings are right there with them at 12-2. This NFC North is going to be fire, man. And then you got the Packers right there at 10-4. And the Bears, they there with the Panthers. Don't even worry about them. And then we're going to go to the NFC West. Rams at 8-6. Seahawks at 8-6. Cardinals at 7-7. 49ers at 6-8. It's wide open. 3 games to go, 2 games difference. Then NFC East, we got the Eagles at 12-2, playing some tough football right now. They really played good against Pittsburgh. Commanders 9-5. Cowboys improving to 6-8. Cowboys still got a chance to be in the playoffs. They have not been eliminated yet. And then the Giants, they're down there with the Bears and the damn Birds. And then we're going to go to AFC. AFC East, the Bills are in firm control of the AFC East with 11-3 record. The next closest to them is the Dolphins at 6-8. And then the Jets 4-10 and the Patriots 3-11. So Bills locked up, clinched, all kind of shit there in the AFC East. And then the AFC West, Chiefs 13-1. Broncos, surprise squad. Many people did not expect the Broncos to be where they are. Bo Nix doing really well, improving every week, I feel. So the Broncos 9-5, Chargers 8-6, Raiders 2-12. Don't even worry about it. Get out of here, Raiders. NFC North, Steelers 10-4, Ravens 9-5, Bengals 6-8, Browns 3-11. AFC South, Houston Texans 9-5. Pretty much got the 3-game lead over the Colts at 6-8. And then you got the Jaguars and the Texans bringing up the trash cans at 3-11 each. So that looks like the Texas division to win right there.
It looks like the Texans have already clinched. So
I'm pretty sure they up 3 with 3 to play. So yes, sir, you're correct. There have been 9 teams eliminated so far. Chicago Bears, Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots, Vegas Raiders, New York Jets, Carolina Panthers, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee Titans, and New York Giants. Out of here. Eliminated from the playoffs.
That's crazy. We don't have a nice, like we said, it's going to be a nice
Yeah, they're gonna start booking their trips to Cancun.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly
Might
what's
as
going to
well.
happen. And
Yep.
from our resident sidekick, NFC West is going to go down to the wire. I think all of
Definitely.
these, I think the West and the North are going to go down the wire because I think the North, the last game, or the second to last game, is a head-to-head with Minnesota and the Minnesota and the Vikings, Minnesota and the Lions. So that's going to be another great matchup. Another one that settles everything. You have the Commanders being moved into the Sunday night window when they play the Falcons. That's been switched to a primetime game.
I saw that.
That game's going to have a lot riding on it, a whole lot riding on it. So that's going to be
more for the Falcons. Yeah, more for the Falcons, I feel. But you look at that NFC North, they could have 3 teams in the playoffs.
Yep,
they really could.
Or they really will. I mean, the Packers at 10 or they're at 9.
As long as the Packers, as long as the Packers don't take a dump,
yeah.
Because Vikings and Lions, they're pretty much locked.
Yeah, they're at 10. I think they're fine. I think 11 basically will clinch it for them. Because I'm not worried about that. I think it's definitely going to be 3. It's not even a might be. All right, Jack. Let's get back to the third part of this, Nickel, and that's what KG deemed the game of the week. It was the Philadelphia Eagles 27, the Pittsburgh Steelers 13. Jack, is there harmony back in the locker room in Philadelphia? Do they love each other more? Are they hugging? Do they make up?
Oh yeah, they was hugging in the end zone. I mean, you give a little touchdown from Mr. Hurst to Mr. Brown, everything's all peachy. You know what I'm saying? Hurst had 290 yards, 2 touchdowns. Barkley, he was held to 65, but I thought he had some solid runs. He only got 19 carries. Devontae Smith, he had 11 receptions for 109 a touchdown. And then you had A.J. Brown with 8 for 100. I don't know. I think it was 110 and a touchdown. But 2 wide receivers over 100 yards. And I think we discussed this the other day, man. Both those receivers could be a number 1 on any team.
Yeah.
I feel Philly's got 2 number 1s in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Kind of reminds me of Minnesota with Addison and Jefferson.
Yes.
When you got 2 guys that dangerous, man. But Philly just outplayed them. Watt had 2 sacks. That was the big spot for Pittsburgh. But Russell Wilson didn't do much. The run game didn't do much for Pittsburgh. So Philly just controlled this game on both sides of the ball, I feel, and ended up with a 27-13 lead. I should say victory.
These run game stats.
Huh?
Harris 6 carries, 14 yards.
Yeah. It was ugly. I didn't even write none down.
Wilson 4 for 13. Warren 4 for 12. So you come out of this ball game and what's that? Let's see, 8, 11. So 17 carries, maybe 50 yards if you're lucky. That's tough. That's
tough they barely had 200 yards total offense, I think.
And then the
Philadelphia defense is a struggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you get? 120?
128.
Yeah. So they just got dominated. Seriously. The 13 points, I don't know where they got it at, man. So they were dominated. Their offense was shut down.
All right, here we go. Comments. Hopefully.
And myself.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nobody hit that game. I picked Pittsburgh, but I didn't get the under. So nobody picked that game. That was the game that stumped us. So where are we going next?
Now, hold on. Let's hit these 2 comments real quick. Then we get right back to the picks. Hopefully Kirk struggles against the Commanders. Of course, that's the big guy. And then Jack. Saquon is the best running back in the game right now. Ooh, I like
guy
this
out there. It's pretty nice.
Hey, let's go Penn. let's throw this on your notebook. Top 5 running backs
on the
today.
list.
Put it on the list.
Top 5 today.
Yes, sir.
List. Because I was going to start telling you. All right, I'll hold on.
All right, and back to KG. Philly played well. Pittsburgh shot themselves in the foot. These don't look like shot themselves in the foot numbers. This is like they got dominated. And maybe shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah. Maybe shooting themselves in the foot was the part where maybe they had some penalties in situations where they made some big games. But I don't remember seeing that. But, hey, that's why it's 3 of us and there's 6 pairs of eyes. And if you count my other set of 2, we got 8 sets of eyes. You know what I'm saying? So, next game, we got to go to the boss. We got to take it to the boss. The Bills, 48. Lions, 42.
Amazing.
I think the Bills keep having these moments where they keep they show you who they are. Now, it's not a consistent thing because I think they were on the wrong end of this last week with the Rams. But the Bills can put points on. And Josh Allen, I think he might be my MVP.
That's what I was thinking, man. Everybody's like, oh, Josh would be making a good shot for MVP, but everybody's on Lamar and this and that. And Barkley, I like what Allen's doing more, man. I mean, shit, he got 2 touchdown passes and two rushing touchdowns yesterday. Last week, he had 3 touchdown passes and 3 rushing touchdowns. So that's 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks for the cat. That sounds like MVP stuff to me.
And then also, it's just the thing that it seems like whenever they need a play, he's making it. Whether it's through his feet, whether he's throwing a pass, he is making everything click. We do have some bad news in this ball game. The Lions did lose David Montgomery for the rest of the season to I think it's MCL tear. The Lions also lost 2 defensive players, 2 more. The Lions are matching it right now. I think if you can play defensive line, you might be able to get a contract with the Lions. KG, that does not mean tape up your ankles in Detroit. Does not mean that.
Nah, stay on the couch, KG.
Stay on the couch, brother.
But Detroit's defense is banging the hell up. I mean, next man up, the way I say it. We'll see what happens.
I mean, this is all grit and bubble gum, a little Flex Seal, a little crazy glue, Gorilla Glue. They piecing something together because they attack. They signed what's the guy Adams a couple of weeks ago. They signed somebody else. I mean, they just using people to blitz and just try to hit the quarterback because they can't produce a pass rush. So they're struggling.
Well, there was almost 900 yards passing in this game, Midnight Rider. That's wow. I haven't seen a guy throw for 500 in a little while. And golf just missed 500. Threw for 394 and 5 touchdowns. That's a legendary game right there. But you take the L, man. St. Brown had 14 for 193 and a touchdown. Laporta had 7 for 111. Gibbs had 114 total yards, 2 touchdowns. I think Gibbs can continue to hold it down for Montgomery with maybe a backup to spell him every once in a while because they've been running Gibbs and Montgomery as a tandem team, so they've been splitting carries. Nobody's getting 25, 30 carries out of them two. So I look forward to seeing Gibbs carrying more of the workload. You had over in Buffalo, you had Allen, 362, 2 touchdowns passing, 2 touchdowns rushing. And Cook is a big help over there in Buffalo, too. Cook's not doing bad. He had 14 carries for 105, 2 touchdowns. And a wide receiver, Ty Johnson. Is that their rookie, Midnight Rider?
No, that's not. This is a running back that's been around the league. He's bounced around. I think Ty may have been in either the Jets or Minnesota last year. I don't think he was with Detroit. Okay. But he's a player, man.
I heard the Boss B talk about a rookie wide receiver at one time that they were working in, and I thought Johnson might have been it. Johnson had some big. Yes, that's right. That's right. Johnson, 14 yards on 5 receptions. That's nice. That's 20 plus a catch. it was who's going to score last, and I'm glad that we got to see this high score. I love high scoring games, man. It's just so amazing, so awesome to watch. Uh, with Buffalo won the game and covered the over, so all three of us hit this game. All three of us picked Buffalo on the over.
Well, that's not. I don't know if you said this, and if you did, I apologize. But Amon St. Brown, 14 receptions, 193 and a touchdown. Sam
Yep.
Laporta. All right, look, I'm just gonna say this now. If you're in the second, third, if you're in the third and the fourth round, and there's an hour tight end on the board, just draft him now and figure it out on the back end. Hour's starting to become tight end you. So you got Laporta with 7 and 111. You had Gibbs doing what I thought he would do, 5 with 83. I think Gibbs is going to be, with him being in the feature role, I think he's going to give you more because now he's going to be on the field every time you, pretty much 90% of your snaps. And I think
he'll get 25, 27 carries now.
Well, I don't even think he's going to do that. I think he'll do 19 to 20 carries, and then you're going to give him 5 or 6 touches in the passing game. And that's how you're going to get the most out of this kid. And if you can find you somebody else to do some banging for you, you can find a power back. One of them jokers and let him just eat around the goal line. You'll be all right.
You was talking about tight ends, and we got a nice tight end coming into the league next season from Penn State. What's his name?
Is it Tyler Warren?
Warren, number 44. He's going to be just like Bowers. I think he's going to get much use as a rookie as long as he's drafted by the right team.
Right.
That boy Warren, he is a solid tight end that I look to see on many Sundays from now. So the tight ends are out there.
Well, we're in the golden age of tight ends because we're not using them to block as much as they used to. They're actually becoming part of the passing game. Yeah. So that's money. That's the perfect thing. Let's see what we got next. Let's close it out with the nail biter of the night. Oh, I'm missing comments.
Let me get these comments because some of these boys are silly. You got it?
Hold on, let's see. Where did I miss out?
Hey, geez.
All right, so let's go here. Jack Wagner. Josh Allen should be MVP.
I think he's leading it. I think he should be leading it right now.
I think so too. KG. Are the Lions still Super Bowl favorites? I think their numbers are starting to come back. I think
they're not. I think something the other night. They're not.
I think we had the Eagles as either 1 or 2. I think the Eagles will overtake them. And I think Minnesota, the way Minnesota plays, I think Minnesota may overtake them too. Because this is trouble in Detroit. Let's see. Bags. I know what this comment's about. Ticket purchase. Headed Detroit to play DT. Okay, if you say so, brother.
What's that? Defensive cowboy?
Jack, the Bills will be tough to beat in the playoffs if they can find a little defense because they don't have much of one right now. Yeah, Buffalo struggled the last 2 years with secondary help. They constantly somehow all their corners always seem to be hurt. I think they just got Matt Milano back, so I definitely can see that for sure.
Yeah, their backers are all right. Buffalo's defense is like hit and miss. You see one game they're damn near lights out, and then you see another game as a shootout like this. It depends on who you're playing against too. If you go and play against Cleveland or the Raiders with the 6-string defense, your defense is going to get a little bit of a bonus because now you're playing a sucky team. But you go play the Detroit or the Vikings high-powered offenses. It's always going to make a defense look bad.
And Jack, I knew what you meant. I got you, baby. KG, Buffalo defense got to tighten up. It's one of two things. You don't have to. You just got to know if you just be ready that if you're going to play defense the way they're playing it, you're going to be in shootouts. So you just got to figure out which one you want to be. Oh, God. Here we go.
This must be a typo. Because he means to say I can bring Powerade to the backs. Come on, KG.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
You're on screen. You might as well. You're in the show today.
All right, and then Lamar is the MVP right now. He's balling. I don't know, man.
Josh Allen's got him in show. You can't, just because you are MVP don't mean you hold that. I mean, I think Josh Allen's stats by far take over Lamar Jackson's right now. And I don't see Lamar catching up to him.
The issue would be, what if we had what if Joe Burrow actually had a winning record?
Oh, ain't no joke. Yep.
Good God Almighty.
You got to put up outrageous numbers to win an MVP on a sucky team. But a lot of Joe Burrow's numbers are coming from trying to play catch up on prevent defenses, you know?
Yeah, because, the problem is their defense can't stop nobody either.
Well, just last year, I think it was last year. How he was like number 3 in the NFL in passing yards after like 8 weeks, and they were 3 and 5. It's you know, you get a lot of yards playing that catch up ball against prevent defenses.
And then, as we touched on, Jack reminding us that Detroit lost Montgomery. Detroit lost 2 more starters on defense to injury. Let's see. I think these are Lamar's numbers: 30 TDs and 3 INTs. I think I think that's fine. Yeah. Here's the kicker though. If you watch these last couple of weeks, there's no way you cannot think that Josh Allen has either closed the gap, pulled even, or left him in the dust. This is interesting. My man's got, like Jack said, he has 10 touchdowns 2 weeks. That's amazing. Right.
He's got Lamar listed. Where's that? 30 and 3. I mean, Allen's got 25 and 5. Not much difference. Look at how many rushing touchdowns he's got though. You know? How many yards he's got. What's his name? Jackson might have 30 touchdowns, but I guarantee he don't have the yardage that Allen has. Allen's already got 3,400 yards already with 3 games left. He's going to be an easy 4,500 yard season.
So it looks like he says, I'm guessing this is again Lamar on pace to throw 50. And then he also says 34 and 3.
Look, you got to let us know. Now you got 30 and 3, then you got 34 and 3. What's what here, KG?
I think is the 34 maybe his rushing touchdowns included? Does Lamar have 4 rushing touchdowns? That might be what that is. I'll look that up.
No, I don't have that stat on here.
Okay.
That stat is not on what I'm looking at.
All right, that's cool. Let's go ahead and get to the home team. Hopefully you had your pacemaker.
And what shouldn't have needed it, man. I'm sorry. It looked a little bit like old Washington, man. 3rd, 4th quarter was terrible. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Commanders 20, Saints 19. This is probably one of the worst officiated football games I've ever watched in my life. There was literally a sequence in the football game in the 3rd quarter. And I think this should have been our precursor to letting us know that they're going to mess up the clock. There was literally 5 to 8 seconds of 4 zeros on the clock. And the referee team missed it. The Commanders kick a field goal, missed the field goal. Then they realize, the quarter expired. So they make them line up and kick again. Thankfully for the Commanders, they make that field goal. Then we get to the end of the ball game. Somehow the clock stops at 9 seconds. 4 seconds actually run off of the play clock. which is the part that makes this even more mind-numbing and impossible to believe that we don't have a better system for this. If we can see the time move off the clock, if they're constantly adjusting this, and for me, I know that the back judge or the side judge should have the clock. So the side judge shouldn't be stopping the clock in this situation. I don't get it. I don't understand how this happened. The game actually was made closer, not because there was an error by the officiating crew. And this was their second time error in this ball game. It's crazy. Go ahead, Jack. Talk to me.
I mean, thank God New Orleans figured, hey, we ain't got nothing to lose. Let's go for 2. Because we might have lost in overtime the way the defense was playing. Jaden Daniels had a nice game, accurate as usual, 25-31, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns. Terry McLaurin had 7 receptions for 73 yards. That kind of surprised me. I thought New Orleans was going to try to take McLaurin out of the offense, but they were catching him on some quick slants. I didn't catch him. And go to the and they hit McLaurin on a couple of those yesterday. So that was right. Washington's defense, they were nice in the first half. And the front line was doing well. 3 sacks, got one, Payne got one. There was a Payne sighting yesterday, and Chin got one. Still, he got another interception yesterday. I tell you, I like that kid. He's got 11, maybe 12 passes. All of them sucked. I mean, you have to pick him for the exception. Yes, I let down.
Somehow you're choppy. I don't know what's going on. Turn your cam off. Mute your thing, and then try to come back. I'm gonna go for a little bit. Just hop out and hop back in real quick because it looks like you started to break up. That's what KG is saying. I thought it might have been me. So yeah, Commanders 20, Saints 19. I think in the first half we saw a kid, Jack Heavner, play quarterback in this ball game, and I don't think he should have ever been in that position. From what all the people were telling us from the Saints side of this is that the kid gets the ball out fast. He's a gunslinger. He has a little Heineke to his system. And I think once we watched the ball game start and the ball game started getting played, I think the issue became a thing where, this kid wasn't ready for the moment. He wasn't ready for prime time. So I think that's where, that's the problem. So it looks like real quick, looks like KG says defense got a D. That's true. Jack says, yes, I was having the same problem as KG. I think right now the problem with this team is they're not able to cover themselves up. They're not able to hide their warts because they're not executing. And I think, I don't know if it was the bye week. I don't know what it was, but this team, we had some issues, and this team struggled executing certain plays. So I hear everybody say, oh, the Commanders didn't stick with the run. I think they did. They had 20 carries as a team in the run game. I think that's fine. People said, oh, the play calling. I disagree with that. Because if you want to complain about the play calling, then you got to think about it. You had 3 different situations where your receiver was running wide open. Nobody was near him. And unfortunately, due to the quarterback overthrowing him, and then this great officiating crew not being able to call illegal contact or pass interference on that third one. It just didn't make sense. Like this ball game, there were so many occasions. The De'Ami Brown pass down the middle of the field to get them down to the 9, and it was called back on the holding, and it was just like we get that kind of holding penalty all the time. What's going on? Welcome back, Jack.
All right, partner.
Now, so all I did was recap the Commanders part of it. Talked about
potty break.
Talked about the officiating. Talked about De'Ami Brown, the holding penalty that was called. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the stage because I want you to kind of repeat kind of what you were talking about because some of it didn't come all the way across to everybody.
Well, I think where I was at was Jaden Daniels getting sacked too many times, man. He got sacked 8 times yesterday. Cam Jordan had 2. Chase Young had 2. I know he loved every minute of that. Redskins, Washington did not play on the second half at all. I don't know what it was. The running game wasn't great. I tell you, we should have beat New Orleans team. Like I say, New Orleans gave Washington a gift by going for 2.
I think they had to go for 2 because I think they knew they were the inferior team.
I think overtime, the momentum was in New Orleans' favor. And like I say, Washington's defense was myself and you picked this game correct. Washington in the under. So the Gentleman Jack, went 4 out of 5. Midnight Rider went 3 out of 5. And KG went 1 out of 5. We got to work on KG a little bit. He picked because of the colors and stuff. He liked the bright colors.
Nah, he's fine. He's fine, dog. It's just
he's up top of the. He's up top. How's he up top, man? How do you get 140 points if he got 4 wrong on this? He's picking different teams in the nickel than he is on our pick'ems.
Oh yeah,
you understand?
I mean, I know I do the same thing because most time I do the pick'ems.
Sometimes I forget.
I do the pick'ems on Tuesday, like right when it comes available. I just go through, pick them all, so that way I ain't got to worry about it the rest of the week. And then whenever we're doing on the show, I go back and look at it and think about it. But the pick 'em is just literally, all right, this is gut feel all the way through. And that's how I end up with mine.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I pick it on Tuesday, but he was 1 for 5 here, but he was 140 points. So he got 3 wrong, 2 or 3 wrong.
Yeah.
I wish he'd mess up that bad and I can catch up because I think I'm down too much. I'm down like 5 or 6 games on y'all with 3 weeks to go. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, and then don't forget, we start all over for the playoffs. So we'll have a playoff pick 'em as well. Then if you guys are interested, everybody else in the land that's not a junkie, but you want to jump in with us, we're doing the college football picks. We got the college football pick 'em. I've posted a couple times on Facebook.
It's on our Facebook page.
Yeah, it's on the Facebook page. It's ESPN again.
I know Jack would like to get in. Damon's in.
If you let me know, I'll send you the link. The password is Gridiron, capital G, Gridiron. We're also titled under the Sideline Junkie. So if you don't see us, you can always search by groups and find the Sideline Junkies. That's us. If you see human Google 10, that's me. You good to go.
And it's in ESPN Pick'ems.
Yes. Right? Yes. ESPN Games. All right. Are we done with the Commanders?
Yeah, I'm done with the Commanders. I wasn't happy with that game. It's a win, and I hate when people say a win's a win. I hate that. I hate that with a passion. But 9-5 looks pretty good. They're at the number. Well, preseason, I said we were picking how many wins we thought Washington would get, and I was like, 8 would be good, 9 would be a successful season, in my opinion. Well, they're at my 9, so I'm pretty happy with this season. I don't see why we can't win 11 though.
I think the only problem
we should get.
I think the only problem is going to be how we got to 9. Being 7-2, dropping 3 ball games to 7-5, winning another 2. I think that's the only issue for real that people are going to have is how we got here. Because we weren't supposed to be here. Shout out to Deborah Cox. But yeah, that's the crazy part about that. Jack, I lost you if you can hear me. You completely froze up on me right now. Maybe see if you can plug in.
Washington gets to the playoffs. That's going to be something because a lot of these young boys ain't never stepped foot in a playoff game. So I don't expect to see, if Washington makes the playoffs, I don't expect to see much playoff success. Just for the fact that there's such a young group of guys. And probably maybe Louisville might have been to the playoffs before. I don't think many of them have.
You got Wagner. You got Allegretti.
Oh, yeah, Bobby Wagner.
And then the thing I always believe, you got 5.
And then Ertz, but Ertz is out. Yeah, it's not many.
You got 5. And I think Ertz is only probably going to be out. At worst, I think he's out 2 weeks. I think Ertz is going to be hurt for 2 weeks.
9 wins is a success.
Yeah. I think the problem people going to have is how we got here. Well, but other than that, we're good. Let's stick to Commander news real quick before we hit you with the list for the night show. So, RFK Stadium update. It looks like the Commanders have been successful in getting the bill to allow the district to have access to the land on a bill in the Senate. It's on a spending bill. Go ahead, talk to me.
It hasn't been approved yet, though.
Hasn't been approved yet.
Is that right?
You're right.
Okay, I thought you were saying it was approved.
No.
No, they're expecting to approve it.
It's put on a bill.
Pending. So
now all they have to do is, as long as this bill goes through, I think the vote is expected next Tuesday. And I don't see any.
They said by midnight Friday is what I heard, to avoid a government shutdown.
Okay.
And then, you sitting there saying it's a bill. That had me thinking about that old jam on Saturday mornings. I'm just a bill sitting on top of Capitol Hill. What was that? Saturday morning cartoons. It was called something. Schoolhouse Rock.
Yes.
I used to live for that. But yeah.
The other day I was sitting at work and I started singing that, walking through. I forgot what I think I was listening to somebody talking about the Commanders in my ear, and I was just like, I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill.
It looks like this is going to go down. And Josh Harris, he wants to be in a new stadium by 2030. And it can happen. And I really wouldn't mind seeing him go back to D.C. Being a Maryland resident, I wouldn't mind seeing them going back to D.C. That's what they are, Washington Redskins, or the Washington.
Got you, but no.
So
I think the kicker here is there's a nice little thing that might help this get through. And you're gonna hear people talk about it. I heard it earlier today, so it's not my information. Is that there's a spending bill where the top 500 companies in the DC area were paying a stadium tax to help build Nats Park. And I think the way they're going to do this is all they're going to do is start that over, because I think this is the last year, or we're coming to the end of that bill being in place. And I think what's going to happen is going forward, all they're going to do is reignite that bill. And that way, that'll help them fund the stadium for the Commanders. And it'll make it so they don't have to come out of pocket to help pay for the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they already have a structure in place, I think they'll be fine. I think that's going to help in the long run.
Well, right now, taxpayer dollars are paying just to maintenance that area for nothing. You know what I mean? You're cutting grass and whatever else the maintenance is to that place for nothing. Well, do they still do soccer games and stuff in there?
Nah, that place. The only reason they didn't like bulldoze it or is because of the asbestos. Like, because the asbestos was so bad in that building, they basically have to like tear the building down brick by brick instead of just doing a big taking a boulder. It's not a boulder. What's that big thing? A wrecking ball.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I've been in that back in my days doing plumbing work and stuff. If it's as much asbestos as you're saying, they're gonna send crews, not one crew. They're gonna send crews in there, suited up, head to toe, suited up, and they're gonna remove the asbestos first, and then they may wreck it. It's got to be removed, and I've seen it done. It's crazy. You got full mouth, breathing apparatus on, and they got to go in and remove that asbestos individually. So that's going to be a hell of a job. But I'm looking forward to a new stadium in Washington, and like I say, the new stadiums nowadays are out of this world, man. Sci-Fi out there in California, that place is banging. All the new stadiums are incredible. Now, I thought Jack Kent Cooke Stadium, when it first started and what it was originally named, was amazing when I went to it that first game. Bathrooms for days. That's one thing Jack Kent Cooke did. He put bathrooms everywhere because just stand in line to go to the bathroom while you're at a ball game. You know what I mean? Yes, and he put TVs all over the court. I like that. So the new stadium could be nothing.
So breaking news. Hold on one second. I got something for you, Jack.
Uh-oh.
Let me.
I see that.
Let's go. So, going forward, the Atlanta Falcons have decided to name Michael Penix Jr. the starter for the remainder of the season. Just in, my source, ESPN. So
I like Penix. I'm upset. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, but I don't like that move.
All right, let's get to some of KG's.
I like Michael Penix. They just talking dumb stuff.
If they make the P word, they got to take it slow, one game at a time. Okay.
No duh.
Don't say the P word out loud till we clinch. Okay. And
playoffs.
And then fuck. I guess that's about the whole thing. And then Jack Wagner right along with us. Kirk's gone to the bench.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either because I think Penix gives them a better chance to win ball games. I think he can push the football down the field, and I think Kirk's problem was I think them legs gave out on him, and he just couldn't do it. And his decision.
He's coming off a win. He's coming off a win, and he gets benched.
Did you see that win?
That's like back in the day when Maryland won the conference and they fire Coach Friedgen. He gets Coach of the Year. How you fire somebody that's winning? I mean, he won. I don't know. I think that's a stupid move. I like Penix. I want him to get time. I just wish he wasn't in Atlanta where he had to be behind Kurt all season. But I don't like it.
Jack, the offense yesterday, they got in their own way. They should have lost this ball game, to be honest with you. The only problem they had, or the only fortune they had, was Desmond Ridder was a quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders, and he was just as bad or worse than Kirk yesterday. It was no way when I watched that game yesterday that I thought Kirk was going to stay at starting quarterback. I was just hoping they would wait till after our game because I thought we had a better chance of beating Kirk than beating Penix. Penix going to be out there sewing on buttons.
I mean, Kirk only got 17 attempts yesterday, man. I mean, Bijan got off yesterday.
Yeah, but Kirk didn't need more than 17 attempts because he was holding the offense back all day long.
Holding it back?
Mm-hmm. Look, they played the Raiders. They had, 15 points? I think they had one touchdown.
Yeah, I know that sucks, but I don't see the reason for him to get benched.
He's been struggling the last 2 weeks, even probably the whole season. They just been trying to stick with him, hoping it would kick in. I think you got to have a responsibility to the players on your team with a chance to make the playoffs, even a chance to win a division, that you got to go out there and take that chance with whoever you think gives you the best chance to win.
You're going to do it with the rookie? I disagree.
It doesn't matter if the rookie. He's been in the whole
2/3 of the season, and you're going to throw rookie in there and hope he can get you to playoffs and take out a former All-Pro quarterback? That's a stupid move, man.
It's not a stupid move because the All-Pro quarterback is giving you rookie production.
He's struggling, but he's 7-7. He still got a shot. You're taking that shot away from him. I don't like it. You like it? I don't like it. So
I think sometimes you gotta go with the better guy. And the worst thing,
I don't know that Penix is the better guy yet.
The worst case scenario, Penix comes in, plays this week, struggle, and then you just go back to Kirk. But I don't think he's going to.
If I was Kirk, dude, that would suck. No, you do Penix in, and he shits the bed, and then you going to put me back in.
I don't think he's
going to shit. I don't think he's going to shit the bed. Robinson's game is going to help Penix. But I heard early in preseason games that the Atlanta receivers were having trouble catching the ball from Penix. Penix is left-handed. It's got different rotation than most quarterbacks, and I don't see why that's a problem. But I heard it was a problem. I like lefty. Penix throws a ball. He does. He throws a good ball. I think he can hit London on a deep shot.
The problem is that thing got a lot of RPMs on it that Kirk's ball doesn't have. So it's also a difference. Yes. Just between the difference between the two quarterbacks in their own right is part of the reason for all of this. Let's see. What are we at? You got anything else on this Penix thing?
Nah, just I'm disappointed in it, and we both got our own opinions, and that's the way people do. That's sports bickering. I think it's time for us to hit the list.
Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have the production today, but we are going to give you the list. The list is brought to you by absolutely nobody because we don't have a sponsor. It's called your top. This week's list is your top 5 jerseys of all time. So this could be, so some people might like the 1980 Seattle Seahawks home blue jerseys. Well, in this list, you can pick that. If you like the creamsicles from the Buccaneers, in this list, you can pick that. Basically, we give you the opportunity to pick any jersey combination or the jersey's top itself. You have to say what color it is and the team. And if you want to say the year, you can say the year if it's an off year. As we do all times, when it comes to the list, we start at number 5. Go, Jack.
Oh, Lord, number 5. Yeah, apparently many people ain't going to have this on their list, man, but I like it. I like the Cleveland Browns in the brown jerseys with the orange letters or the all white with the brown letters. So Cleveland Browns got 2 jerseys I like.
All right.
That's my number 5. Midnight
Number
Rider,
five.
what you got?
Number 5 for me is the Philadelphia Eagles, Kelly Green. The Kelly Green with the green helmet and that silver wing. That's my number 5.
Reminds me of Harold Carmichael's. What that reminds me of.
Exactly.
Yup. Okay.
Ready? Number 4.
My number 4 is a current uniform that I just seen recently, and I like it. Is Minnesota's all whites with the purple outlines on the numbers. Green Bay didn't look as good in the all whites because I needed to see some yellow there. You know what I'm saying? I kept on saying, who's playing? I kept on looking at Green Bay the other day and they're whites. I'm like, who's playing this? But I like the Vikings in the all white with the light purple outline on the wing and on the numbers. I think those are just clean and tight. What you got it for?
Number 4 for me is the Miami Dolphin aqua, the old school aqua jerseys.
Very Zonka.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, those were tight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Number 3.
I like them old school Rams uniforms, the yellow with the blue letters and the big old Ram thing on the helmet.
Yes.
I like them Eric Dickerson Rams. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the ones I like. What you got at number 3?
Houston Oilers, the Earl Campbell baby blue jerseys. That's my number 3.
Okay.
Let's see. We got 5. We did 4. We did 3. Number 2.
My number 2 goes to the 1970s Washington Redskins, the gold jerseys with the burgundy numbers and the burgundy pants. I thought that's the best uniform they got. And they used to bring it back every once in a while. I like the gold jerseys from the 70s Redskins, the Over the Hill Gang, as they were called, with Coach George Allen. I can see Billy Kilmer fitting in them tight-ass pants and gold. The burgundy pants with the gold jersey. So Washington Redskins gold jersey with burgundy numbers is my number 2. What you got?
Number 2. I think I gotta go with I gotta go with the New England Patriots red jerseys from 1985 because of my boy Mosi Tupu. I think that was, I don't know if his card was like the first one I got or what it was. But I used to love me some Mosi Tupu.
Well, back in the day with the Patriots was my boy, my man, Bob Windsor was over there. Bob Windsor played with the Patriots and he played for another squad too at the end of his career, but he had a sporting goods shop in Laurel, Maryland. And that's where my mother used to get our boys club equipment from. So I was meeting Bob, a professional football player personally, at 7, 8 years old. I thought he was like one of my favorite players because I actually, talked to him all the time when my mom would go there. And I ran into him at a golf tournament about 5 years ago. He got introduced and I'm like, holy shit. So I walk over, I'm like, hey, Bob. I said, my name's Jack Carr. I don't know if you remember me, but my mother is Betty Carr from Bladensburg Boys Club. He was like, oh my goodness, how's Betty doing? Good God. I got on the phone and called her up. I'm like, here you go talk to her. And they talked right back. Yeah, that was fun. Bob Windsor, New England Patriots. That's what that makes me think of.
So we get 5. We have 4. We get 3. We get 2. Number 1.
You got me on your I think it was your number 3. That's my number 1. Houston Oilers baby blues, Earl Campbell joints, boy. I used to love them. Pastorini was one of their quarterbacks. Man, they had so many back then. But yeah, Houston Oilers baby blues. I love it to death. What you got at 1?
Number 1. The only reason we're doing this list is the Detroit Lions, the Honolulu Blues, and the black and blue. Those are my 2 top jerseys right now.
Okay.
I just love this is the current version. The Honolulu blue and silver number, or the black with the Honolulu blue number are my 2 favorites.
Yeah, Detroit be looking nice. Them silver helmets look tight too.
Oh, they look tough, man. They look
A
real
lot of
tough.
lot of gear look good these last couple of weeks. Some teams are breaking out some different uniforms and helmets.
Nah,
And
because you almost threw me off because I now I can't remember my number 4 because I was thinking about putting your 4, the Minnesota, as my 4th. So I'm not gonna do a recap because I don't remember the exact order because I didn't write this down. Any thoughts on anything else, like jerseys that stick out to you, whether it's the variations or whatever, anything you can think of?
there's some basketball uniforms that are coming out that I just don't understand. I mean, they got words on them. If you don't live there, you don't know what the hell it means. I know they're trying, changing up jerseys ain't nothing but revenue, bringing in money. Let's throw a new jersey out for all these cats to buy. Jersey sales is a big, big, big business, man. And some of the NBA ones I just don't get. I like somebody listed down here, the Orioles home grays. I like those too.
Oh dang, we were so busy doing our list. We got it. Let's go. All right, here we go. Kirk is struggling. Let's go here. Orioles home gray, Oilers love you blue, Ravens black, Bulls original black pinstripe, Pistons teal, mid-90s. All right. Let's see. Jack Wagner, those Detroit Lions, how much were the
He's got it on the next one.
Here we go. Detroit Lions helmets were the best of the season so far. Got you. Totally agree.
Yeah, they were right there with Minnesota's though. I thought Minnesota's white helmets were slick.
The one jersey I love, and I know the Miami Aqua got in there. The Creamsicles was my 3. Actually, I do remember my list now. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give your 5 to 1.
Number 5 was Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns brown with orange letters, or the all white with brown letters. I like both of those. Minnesota Vikings in the all white, Green Bay in the all white. LA Rams, or wherever the Rams were at that time when they wore those yellow ones with the blue letters and the big old horn on it. That was good. Washington Redskins in the 70s, the gold jerseys with the burgundy numbers. Houston Oilers, the baby blues, man. Those are the best of all time, I think. And then you got some things that got ugly ass uniforms, like Steelers jailhouse uniforms, Bumblebee uniforms, whatever you want to call them. You had the Houston Astros with the hideous uniforms, the Pittsburgh Pirates with the hideous hats. There's been some messed up uniforms.
Which Houston Astros joint you talking about?
One had all the colors in it. I mean, it was just ugly.
Oh, I love those. I love
orange, yellow, and brown or some shit on it.
Whatever the Astros classic one, the 80s.
Back there with J.R. Page, J.R. Richard.
Oh, I love those. I love those. And the other one I used to love was the Padres old school jersey. Who else had one that was crazy? Oh, the Denver Nuggets, where it had the city skyline across the middle.
They still wear that.
Yep. Yeah.
No. Somebody was talking Denver Nuggets the other day, and they brought up Kiki Vandeweghe. I was like, "Oh Lord!"
Wow.
Kiki Vandeweghe, he was a scoring machine.
Kiki Vandeweghe, somehow, some ways, my cousin's favorite basketball player from that era.
He was one of mine back in the 70s. He was one of my favorite guys. I like Kiki Vandeweghe. I like Dan Issel. I like George Gervin back then. Of course, I like Delvin Hayes, Wes Unseld. I mean, Kiki Vandeweghe could score, I tell you. Him and Issel used to fight for scoring titles every year.
Oh, heck yeah.
And Gervin would be there too. Gervin was so fun because he had that sweet finger roll. George Gervin was long. He played long. Man, I used to like some George Gervin, the Iceman.
All right. So we've come to that time in the show. Gotta wrap it up, B. You got anything else you want to touch on, talk about?
No. just two of us on here. I got to talk enough today. I'm good.
Yeah.
I said, my wife asked me, "What's up?" I said, "Me and Midnight Rider going just us two today." She's like, "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, I gotta get ready to talk a lot." I don't have a problem with that.
Not at all. Neither one of us do, I don't think. And we still hit the 120 mark.
Been a good show, and Jack Wagner adds in injuries cut Kiki's career short.
Yep.
Yeah, he was another guy. He's a long guy. Had knees, he had knee problems, shoulder problems. But damn, he was a shooter, boy. Could you imagine some of them cats with 3-pointers now?
Yo, it's crazy. I mean, that's what I want to wrap it up with. So this week in basketball, we had a ball game. We had a ball game where two teams missed 75 3-pointers combined.
Two of the suckiest teams in the league, though.
Still, it's just like, I don't care what the analytics say. Maybe we just owe, but 2 points is points. Like, why are we? I just don't understand why we're committing so much to the 3-point shot. Why we aren't, like, every shot that's a 3 isn't a good shot, and that's what's killing me right now. I may have watched 2 minutes of that Duke game when I was on live with you after one of our shows. It was Duke and Auburn. That's all the college basketball I've watched so far.
Duke won.
Pros, I've watched like 4 or 5 Wizards games because I really want them to focus on Carrington, George, Koulibaly, and Sarr.
Dude, did you see what happened last night? Was it last night or the night before in that Wizards game?
No, I didn't.
Poole's on the right wing behind the 3-point line. I forgot. It was against Boston. I'm sorry. Yeah, Washington against Boston. I think it might have been Hauser that Poole crossed up. Hauser fell, dude. He got ankles was broke. And instead of banging the wide open 3-pointer, Poole's going to point at him while he's on the ground. And then 2 defenders get on him. He gets no 3. He passes it to another guy. He shoots and misses. Poole's been in the league long enough. Why is he doing childish shit like calling out a guy for getting his ankles broke? It makes me no sense. It shows you that that's a trash team right there, being led by trash.
Well, what you need right now is you don't want this team to win ball games. I keep saying that.
No,
like you want them, but you want them to invest in the young guys. And I think the problem they had was Brogdon came in hurt. Brogdon was hurt. Kuzma's hurt. I think somebody's gonna offer you something for Valanciunas. Like you gotta start pushing guys out the way, so that way you can start investing in the young guys. Go ahead.
You gotta get rid of Poole and Kuzma. Valanciunas is just gonna be wanted. Somebody's gonna want him. But Washington needs to get rid of Poole and Kuzma. I'm sorry. If you're gonna invest in the young guys like you say, then they need to get rid of them too. They're not good for the squad.
I think the only problem Poole has is I don't think Poole has a market. I think Poole has played himself to be here long term. So whatever his little contract is,
that's what I'm thinking.
Play that out. I think you stuck with him. Last two comments before we go. KG, I'm sorry, let's go back here. Last 3 comments. Jack Wagner, always a good show, fellas. Peace. KG says too many showboats. Let's see. It's a trash league. Poole ain't the only one that does that dumb shit. Of course, again, KG. DZ Free Show said, good evening, fellas. Good evening, DZ. But unfortunately, you caught us at the tail end of our show. I was told that
we got 2 more years.
Okay, so we got 2 more years.
We got 2 more years. Yeah.
All right. Like I said, we were told that we don't do no overtime. We're ending the show. We are out of. You got anything else?
Nah, we got to do it our way. We just gave you some overtime. We are out of here.